Welcome back everyone to another video. In today's video, you will hear the Manager of Communication and Customer Service at National Works Agency, NWA for short, Dr. Stephen Shaw, addresses some issues in Port Morant, Bowden, and also the issues of sidewalks and some sections of the road improvement project. And also Councillor Dean Smith of the Port Morant Division, addressing some concerns that the residents have in the community of Port Morant.
Along this corridor. The work continues under the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. We are now executing the works that are part of Tranche 3. We, at the outset, divided the project into 3 tranches, so this is the final tranche that we are now working on. Of concern to many persons would be the situation here in Port Morant. We have major drainage features that are on the way in this space. We have had a bit of a challenge with some of the works that we're doing, but we intend to have the activities completed. As a matter of fact, the entire S-chip, we're looking to close it out before the end of the summer of 2025. So we have some more drainage works to do in this space. We have to be working with our partners in governance in terms of land acquisition, and in this case the National Land Agency, to acquire a parcel of land which is crucial to us being able to mitigate the floodwaters in this space. And so we are going through the legal processes to acquire this bit of land, which is pretty close to the swamp in Port Morant, and it is actually required, it is necessary for us to get this piece of land to have the drainage improvement works completed. So we have significant drainage work that is contemplated for this Port Morant area. Persons would observe us doing corrective works in some of the areas, especially between Morant Bay and Yallas. We have had to do some base replacement works. We have a little bit more that we are doing. We still have some lines that are showing defects, and those the contractor will be addressing in short order. And of course, at the back end of this project, I'm sure we all will be very proud and happy at the quality of the infrastructure that would have been left in the wake of the implementation of the S-chip. I know that persons have also raised questions about the section of the road through Bowden. That area, as you can see, is part of the wetlands in the space, and so we have had to be seeking the relevant approvals from the environmental agency, NEPA, and we are actually awaiting NEPA's approval in respect of the works to be done in this space. So that's why persons would have observed that nothing much beyond the laying of some of the fiber optic ducts would have been done in this space today. The major civil works we have not yet undertaken, but we hope that within very, very short order we will receive the relevant approval from the NEPA, so that we can move quickly to doing that which is required to make the connection between the road traveling from Golden Grove all the way into Morant Bay through Bowden.
Mr. Shaw, in Fort Morant, residents have asking what will happen to them on the other side. It seems that this side is the other wall on this side. The fence is on this side, and they say that the road is going to be lit. They're asking what is going to happen to them on the other side.
All right, so the drainage plan for this space involves the construction of drainage features on both sides of the road. We intend to drain some of the stormwater through the swamp that is in that area near to the gas station. We know that persons are actually living in that area. The intention is to have some relocation done so that we can do that which is necessary to mitigate the incidence of flooding in this space.
Alright, so I know this kind of look a bit confusing, but I'm gonna give a little visual representation based off my understanding of what he's saying. So where you see the circle with the arrow, that is the gas station. The yellow circle is where water normally accumulates behind the buildings on the left hand side of the gas station. And where you see that little red mark is where the water normally comes onto the road. The purple one now is the new drain that they built, running alongside the roadway going down to the river. So first time we thought that they were going to build another drain on the right hand side of the road, but if you notice how the area is set up, there's a lot of business places on the front, so it seems like they're going to continue the drain from where you see the red mark going underneath the road and then back behind the houses going into the swamp. And I don't know if that explanation do you much good, but I'm gonna try to give you a visual representation now so you can see it also from the drone view. Alright, so see, you have the drain right here. Here's the gas station. This is where the water normally comes from the little stream behind the buildings. And this is the original part the water took when they had the first drain. So based off what he's saying, it seems like they're just gonna cut across right here, going behind these buildings, and just continue the drain out into the swamp instead of carrying it down on the right hand side. So at the time, I didn't know that he was going to talk about the drain and where it's gonna go, so I wasn't videoing this part correctly because I was going around to center cut to check out what is going on around there, but I did not record it. So when I was coming back, something just said to hit record, and see, this video is now useful in a sense. Alright, so here's the gas station, and this is the part that I speculate that the drain will take. And this circle is showing you some of the houses that are around here. Hence why he would say something about them being relocated. But as I said, take this with a grain of salt because I can be wrong.
You know, we look at the lay of the land, and really it is the most suitable place for us to have the drainage features constructed. Not so suitable for persons to inhabit at this time, but it is what it is, and so we will have to work with those persons who are living in this space to ensuring that if it is that they are going to be staying there, there can be some sort of coexistence between their living and the drainage features that are to be constructed there.
You mentioned about a second drain on the other side of the roadway, but how will this assist in terms of getting persons into their premises?
Well, that is something that we'll also treat with, because the intention of the project is not to disenfranchise anyone. So everybody who has an access to their homes or to their businesses, those persons will continue to gain same at the back end of the project.
And you're saying by the end of the summer, all of this work will be completed?
That is what we intend to do, yes. Would have stymied the work over time along the S-strip is the relocation of utilities, meaning JPSCO poles, flow poles, and so on. I think we have made a good bit of progress in having the poles relocated out of the right of way, and so this has really made the process much easier for the contractor to be able to move through some of the communities and be in a position where now persons are actually seeing paving works being done. We have not yet made the connection through some areas, but it is a work in progress, and persons can rest assured that in short order they will be traveling on extended bits of the corridor between Morant Bay and Port Antonio without having to encounter white surfaces, meaning base material or subgrade material, based on the progress that we have made to date.
Mr. Shaw, one question. I saw them building two bridges, one out by Amityal and one out by Kensington. What about the bridge out by Fishcove in Lethal, St. Thomas?
Well, all of these structures that we are going to be doing as part of the project will be undertaken. There is a schedule of works, and the contractor knows exactly what is expected, and I am confident that they will, in short order, be delivering on the undertaking, their contractual undertakings, as it relates to the construction of all structures, bridges, U-drains, cylindrical drains, all of those things that are part and parcel of the overall scope of works will be done as part of the betterment of the road network through St. Thomas and Portland.
While we are in Lethal, people are complaining about not seeing any sidewalks for pedestrians in the Lethal community.
Well, as it relates to the erection of sidewalks, where it is that the road is wide enough to erect sidewalks will be done, and these we generally put sidewalks in built-up areas. Outside of that, you have shoulders. All right, so at a minimum, persons will have shoulders on which to walk, and so we at the back end will properly demarcate what is the main carriageway, meaning for motor vehicles, and what will be more than likely hard shoulders for persons to go about their business, pedestrians, that is.
Thank you. Yes. Dinsdale Smith, councillor for the Port Morant Division. Dinsdale Smith, councillor for the Port Morant Division. The concern we have here in Cotton Tree is that work has started. We see quite a bit of energy and effort being put into the infrastructure here. What we are a people who is in the dark. We have no idea what is going on exactly and how it is shaping up to me. What I'm picking up from the residents and to my eyes as well is that although we're not engineers, this particular side of the road seems so significantly higher than on the other side of the road that while we're wondering how we're going to solve the problem, we're going to solve the problem in terms of flooding on the southern side of the roadway. It's a big concern of ours, The water flow that comes into Port Morant is coming from maybe about 3 or 4 different sources upstream, upriver, and the river breaks its banks, and the gullies breaks their bank further up outside of the roadway. And so, no matter what we do here, the problem will still remain at the source of the water flow, which, to my understanding, has been compromised over the years to where the water overflows its banks and technically get out of control. Curtis Bottom is under even more threat now than it had been before, because there are no drainage signs of any drainage being constructed up on Curtis Bottom. And then to the southern side of the roadway, we have not yet seen any signs of any drains being built there. Not saying it's not going to be, but if it is not, this is a disaster just waiting to happen. And as the year rolls on, we are just about 10 weeks or so away from the hurricane season. As you know, over the past couple of days, we've been getting little touches of rain, and in those 5-minute flows, we've had water puddling seriously on Curtis Bottom Road, which is a big concern of mine. Something I've been advocating for more than a year now, since I've been in council. Presently, we don't have any attendance to our council meetings from the works agency. None of them. Not general council meeting, not any committee council meeting. And as a result of that, I am concerned as the people's representative that we're not being able to ask the questions that we need, so we can get the kinds of explanations that will settle us to make us know that we're being thought about as the end users of this roadway. So for me, I would love to get some of those answers. I'm willing to ask the questions. I would prefer to ask them in a public place rather than in a private place, in a public forum than in a private forum. And as a result of that, I'm calling on the works agency to send us the representatives to council, so we can ask those questions there, and we don't have to resort to other means of trying to get information from them. We're a people now who is under-informed. We're being kept in the dark, and that cannot be good for St. Thomas. It cannot be good for Port Morant. It cannot be good for the individual citizens of this parish.
Of residents, the main concern of residents in the community.
The main concerns of the residents in this community is this Port Morant Square, the flooding that is taking place. Last year was one of the worst years we've ever had in the history of Port Morant. And if this is not solved by the next hurricane season, which starts in June, we are now in April. Today is the 1st of April. I hope we're not fooling ourselves on April Fool that the situation has gotten better already. Because no matter what kind of advertisements and public relation campaigns that can be launched, the situation is still dire. And I believe we're at this stage, if we should have a sudden downpour of rain, it would be disaster more than we have ever seen.